The Home Office have confirmed this morning that Kabatu, the migrant criminal who was wrongly released from prison, has been deported.
Well, they say he was removed on a flight last night to Ethiopia and arrived there within the last few hours. The Minister for Border Security and Asylum, Norris, joins us now. Good morning. There's an investigation now into how all of this happened, how a sex offender who was earmarked for deportation was accidentally released and then was able to be at large for a couple of days before being spotted by a member of the public. This has all been a huge embarrassment for the government, hasn't it?
Charlotte, thanks for having me. Kabatu is a convicted sex offender in this country. We had no place walking our streets, had no place being in our country. We're pleased to have removed him overnight. We've accepted that what took place shouldn't have taken place. We are looking very closely into what happened. We're very grateful for the police and for the public for their actions in helping apprehend him. I'm glad that we've been able to now move this to removal.
Can I just clear up, Minister, exactly what has happened in this case? We've been discussing it on the programme this morning. The Home Secretary refers to him being deported. You just said he was removed. The police indicated at the weekend that he had volunteered to want to return to Ethiopia. In the case of him being deported forcibly, that's one thing. But if there is a facilitated removal, it is normal in those cases for the person to receive a cash payment on their departure, say £2,000 or £3,000. Can you just tell us, was any money paid to Kabatu for him to be returned to Ethiopia? On the point of kind of deportation and removal, I think in substance it's the same point. He had maintained through the court hearing that he wanted to go and he was removed. I can't tell you on the cash piece. I know that early in the process he had asked for that and was denied. It's not a scheme that is automatic. We do it sometimes to make a removal easier because it saves the taxpayer money, but I can't tell you in this case whether there was Immigration Minister on a massively sensitive case where the Home Secretary has been very, very clear that he has been deported. And you're telling me you've come on our programme and you can't tell our viewers whether Kabatu received thousands of pounds from the UK taxpayer to return to Ethiopia. Are you really telling me that you don't know the answer to that question?
Well, Ed, you would know that ministers are not involved in the operational movements that happened overnight. Many thousands of pounds. I can't accept that characterisation. That's not what routinely happens. This is a removal that the public expected. It's a removal we committed to, and it's a removal we're glad that's taken place.
But if he was deported forcibly, there wouldn't be money. You said removed, and you don't know whether or not he received money. Don't you think we deserve to know the answer to that question? And if you don't know now, don't you think you should find out in the next couple of hours whether he's received a cash payment? It's just a fact. We want to know.
Well, there is always public scrutiny on these. We remove 35,000 people every year, as you'd expect, Ed. We don't provide individual operational details of every one of those removals, but that is a significant uplift in removals from this country. People want to see violent criminals taken off the street. They want to see people who've committed crimes in this country or people who have no right to be here. They want to see them removed. And as I say, we don't routinely offer a running commentary on that, but this individual's been removed, and that's the right ending to what has been a very sad story.
And on that point, a lot of viewers are getting in touch this morning to say if this can be done with Kabatu, with someone like him, why can we not then remove all asylum seekers or illegal migrants who've committed crimes? Why can they not all be deported?
Well, as you know, we've announced today that we've just had our biggest year for immigration enforcement raids, where we've up and down the country, whether it's in nail bars, whether it's in food delivery, whether it's in hand car washes, we've done 11,000 raids, the most in history. That's led to over 1,000 people being removed from this country as part of 35,000 being removed from the country more generally. So we can and we do it. We're not doing enough. We're not happy with that progress. There are changes that we have to make in law to make sure that, say, if you get a suspended sentence rather than a custodial sentence, then that counts for removal as well. So we're making that change in the sentencing bill. But we are resolute that we are going to be pushing those cases. There are times, that this ends up being fought in the courts. Sometimes individuals seek to game the system as well. Well, we are going to fight them every inch of the way there. So I'm glad that we've made the progress. This is the best progress ever demonstrated by a government.
But we know it's not enough yet. So I know your viewers are saying that. We feel it too, and we want to do it to its fullest degree.
Yeah, because, you know, it's only part of the problem there you're starting to tackle, isn't it? Meanwhile, we're looking at the numbers for the small boat crossings, and they continue to be a huge issue. The number now who've crossed the channel stands at 36,954 from the latest figure we have. That's surpassed the total of the whole of last year, which just points to the fact that that is still not at all under control, is it?
Well, at the moment, we are very attractive to people who want to come to this country, and that the small boat route is the one that they are choosing. That is because, for too many people, they think they're going to be housed in a hotel and they think they're going to be able to work illegally here. Well, we're putting a stop to that illegal working. That's why we've done the raids that we've done, sending that strong signal that if you think you're going to be able to work here, whether it's in a high street nail bar, whether it's on that car wash by the side of an A road, we are not going to tolerate that. But then on top of that, as you'll have seen in recent days, we are going to shut every single hotel. We're going to transition to new sites in the meantime, you know, and you'll have seen what we've started to do with regards to military sites, but that we won't put up with having huge volumes of people. So we're attacking that demand as well by saying to people, don't think you're going to be housed in comfortable hotels, don't think you're going to be able to work illegally, because we're putting a stop to it.
Can I ask you another financial question in the hope that this time you will know the answer? The Select Committee on Monday said housing asylum seekers in barracks or large sites was more expensive. Yesterday we spoke to the Defence Minister, Luke Pollard, who said that indeed housing people on bases may be a different cost to hotels, but that went on to say, but that was OK from an MOD perspective because it was the Home Office budget. Is the Home Office deciding that spending more money housing asylum seekers in military bases is good value for money because people being housed in hotels is unpopular? Will they be more expensive?
Well, firstly, the nightly rate is about the same between a military site and a hotel. The point here, though, Ed, is that we're reducing the bill. We've already reduced it by £1 billion, but we're going to reduce the bill by reducing the number of people who need to be housed here, by being very clear that they will not be living in a hotel, they will not be working illegally. So that's the way to get the cost out of the system. This is a good...
Why did the Select Committee say it was more expensive then?
Well, as I said, well, our modelling, they of course are based on what the previous government tried to do. Our modelling is currently bringing it in broadly similar. The costings will be available to the Select Committee and to Parliament when we initiate these sort of schemes. But the reality is, if you want to take money out of this, and I know all Good Morning Britain viewers want to, as we do too, you've got to reduce the numbers. Yeah. And moving to this type of site is a really important way of doing that.
It does seem to be only part of the problem, though. We're hearing reports at the moment it's just these two sites that are being looked at, which would be around 900 men who would be housed there. But the figure is from June, 32,000 being housed in hotels. So there's an awful lot of people that you've still got to house. Where will they go?
Well, this is a first step in this regard. As I say, you want to reduce that supported population by breaking that reason to come to this country, that real attraction to come to this country.
32,000 that are in hotels at the moment, or around that number, where will they be going if only 900 are initially going to be put into 2 army facilities?
Well, this is our first step into this space. We intend to do more. We want to bear down on the population. You know, part of the reason we have these hotels, let's not forget this, is because the previous government paused making any application decisions. So we've been increasing that significantly. That's why we've been able to remove so many people who don't have a valid claim. Those who do have a valid asylum claim can then get on with their lives, and that's what they do. Okay. So reducing the population that way.
Do you not have a plan for them? But, you know, are those 32,000 going to go into army facilities? Are they going to go in houses of multiple occupancy? Where will they go?
Well, you know the top line of the plan, Charlotte, which is that every single hotel will be closing in this Parliament. That's a commitment made by the Prime Minister. It's a commitment I'm making again today.
Hang on, the Prime Minister said yesterday it was in a year. Are you now resigning from that? Is it at the end of the Parliament, or is it in a year's time?
Our public commitment is, from the manifesto, is by the end of this Parliament. Yeah. The Prime Minister will speak for himself about when his government will deliver on our pledges.
I think he speaks for the government minister rather than just for himself. And as I understand it, he said within a year. Are you not delivering what he wants?
My commitment is we're going to deliver what is in our manifesto, and our commitment to those communities with hotels open is that they won't be open for a day longer than they need to be. And, you know, that's why we're looking at the military sites. That's why we're changing that model.
OK. We're just not quite sure at the moment where they're going to go. Thank you for your time this morning. That is the Minister for Border Security and Asylum, Alex Norris.
Thank you, Alex Norris.